What's going on, guys? If you are watching this video, you are probably thinking of getting into film photography in 2020. Well, don't worry, I got your back. I'm going to show you a couple cameras that I think are the most approachable cameras, whether you're an expert coming into film photography or a noob coming into film photography. And all of these cameras have your pockets, aka your budget, in mind. Don't worry, guys, I'm not going to throw you some crazy medium format camera that's like $12,000 and it's kind of like trying to launch a space shuttle. None of that. So stay locked and enjoy this video. All right, so before we get started, please do me a favor and like and subscribe to this video. I'm about to drop some knowledge that could hopefully help you, but also all the cameras I'm going to mention, you can find the links in the description for this video. And I'm saying that because if you literally buy from that link, I'll make a little bit of money, which is amazing because considering the size of this channel, views don't make me any money. I do this because it's stuff that I love and it's resources that I wish I had when I was in your position. All right, so anyways, let's get into the first camera I'm going to recommend you guys. Okay, here we are at the first camera, and I'm starting off super simple because this is the camera that I think most people would recommend anyone first getting into film, but I don't. My opinion on the Canon AE1 is not that good because this is a camera that teachers give to like film photography students in college or in high school, and it's a cool camera and all. It looks great and it's pretty cheap. It's like you can get a good used one for like 150 bucks or less. It feels really sturdy. The problem with this camera is that you have to do everything, right? So if you're a newbie coming into photography with this camera, you kind of have to learn a lot, which is, in my opinion, not that fun. And I think the point of film is to be fun. And if you're an expert, I wouldn't recommend this camera either, because if you're going from being a digital camera guy to a film, you don't want to do more work. Like, film's supposed to be more fun, right? So don't get this camera. What I would recommend instead is I would recommend the Nikon EM series, because it's similar in the fact that it has a similar shape, but this camera not only looks better, you can get them a lot cheaper at camera stores or online. It's an SLR, so that means that it actually does some parts of it automatic for you. Now, that means that it figures out the shutter speed, so all you have to do is adjust your depth of field, and it figures out the shutter speed for you, and the ISO is already set. So all you gotta do is really just look at the light meter and shoot your shot, and then just focus it with the rangefinder. The rangefinder's fun. It's a little difficult to figure out at first. Once you get the hang of it, it's honestly a lot of fun. Going around town with my friends with this camera, it doesn't have a flash or anything like that. It was fun to just kind of keep on the side, and it also looks really cool. So let's move on to, in my opinion, my favorite camera, my favorite film camera of all time. So here we are at my favorite film camera of all time, the Lomography LC-A plus 35mm film camera. When I first started photography, this camera taught me everything I needed to know. I didn't really know anything about photography. I didn't learn. I just kind of got this camera and started learning. I would take photos and go to CVS and get them developed and be like, oh, it's kind of off. And then I'd kind of research and like, oh, that's why the film was underdeveloped. And so I got better and I learned photography through that. Now, besides my experiences, the tactical reasons is because this camera is super small, so it can fit in your back pocket, in your purse, in your clutch, in your merce, your man bag if you rock those, super easily, and it looks super stylish. It has a bunch of automatic features to it. It figures out the shutter speed for you, and all you gotta do is just set the ISO with the dial, and then your depth of field you control with like a little paddle on the side, if you see here on the right side of the camera. And this camera just becomes an extension of your body after a certain point, where you just whip it out and just like boom, boom, boom. Like, it's, in my opinion, the ultimate street photography camera. I don't do much street photography. People probably argue with me on that, but the aesthetic of the film that you get from this is so good, especially when it's paired with the Lomography film. Like, you're just gonna get so many amazing tones and just colors you just really love and can't explain. And for an expert coming into this, I highly recommend it, because this makes film photography super fun and approachable when you're on set, when you're out with your friends. You can really have this camera with you anywhere. But then if you're a noob, this camera is great because it's durable. You can put it in your pocket, you can take it with you anywhere, and still have high quality photos and have that aesthetic, and still kind of start to learn about your film and how your film photography works. Don't worry, I have two other cameras that I think you guys are gonna highly enjoy if you're just trying to choose your first film camera. Okay, so this is a camera that I actually use all the time for all of my professional film shoots and everything like that. Honestly, I didn't even want to tell you, but you guys are super lucky that I'm thirsty for content and views. So I'm gonna reveal my secret camera that honestly I don't even tell you about in all of my other videos, and it is the Canon EOS 650 digital SLR camera. Now, this camera, I actually recommend more for professionals because you can take editorial and really high quality photos with like some portrait in there. Honestly, this camera is also amazing for professionals because the mount on this camera actually fits all your modern Canon lenses. So literally you can take your really expensive $1,000 Canon lenses and slap it on this digital film camera and it still works. Now, another hack about this camera is I actually shoot this camera in full automatic, which makes it way more enjoyable as well. It has super fast autofocus, not to mention all the controls and stuff on the back like a normal SLR, and I get nothing but great results from this camera. It's legitimately my top 1 or 2 camera that I use all the time. Recommend this camera for professionals, not so much for beginners, but you can use it as well. All right, so the last camera that I'm gonna recommend, I use all the time as well, just like the Canon EOS. This camera though is my fun camera. I bring this out with me when I go out to clubs with my friends, when I'm going out during the day, and something I just want to stuff in my pocket. It's honestly an amazing camera because it's so portable and it's so low key and it has a built-in flash. So this is really good for beginners. As a matter of fact, the entire Olympus Stylus line of cameras are really good for beginners. Now, something I need to point out about these Olympus Infinity Stylus is that there's a whole cult behind these, like all the 35mm cliche film wrapper photographers use Olympus cameras. So this will make you like hip with all the Supreme kids who know like just about point and shoot cameras. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I essentially showed you my 4 favorite film cameras that I think are super approachable for anyone trying to get into film photography. It just varies on what your use for it is and what you're trying to get out of it. So I hope I broke that down real nicely for you. And if you appreciated this video, please like, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And I'm gonna put the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon there. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to learn anything else about film photography. Peace.